Let's see another program from the Python lab manual. In this program, they are asking us to create a text file. So the program says like, write the program to create a text file and compute the number of characters, words and lines in the file. So indirectly, what they are asking is like, after creating the file, we have to write into the file. That means we have to enter some words or some lines of text into the files. Once it is done, we have to make sure that what are the total count of characters, how many words are present, how many lines are present in that particular text file. So mainly we are discussing about file operation in this program. So let's see how we can do this. So we can have a modular approach for this. So for that we can introduce user defined function. First one, let's see how can we create a file. So let's define one function. To define the function, we use again def keyword, and we will give the function name create file. Since the creation is there, we will give the same name, and we can have file name. So let's have some file name now. Since we are going to create one, we can name the file name, and it's going to be obviously a text file, and it's a function. So the declaration statement will end with colon. Make sure you remember it. Whenever we are done with adding a colon, the very next line will not be in the same scope. That means my code will never begin directly from the def. Here this won't work. We have to give a indentation. That means the block is going to be defined. The body of the function is defined with the 4 spaces or single tab. You can see in the line number 5. So here we will try to create a file. So how do we create a file? We use there are different modes in file reading. If we have R, that means we are reading. If we have W, that means we are writing into the file. And if we have A, then it is for appending. We use the W mode, that is to write mode. If the file is not there, it will just create the file. We have to take the file name. So let's take the file name, and we will give the mode. This mode has to be in quotes, single quote or double quote, anyone is fine. With statement has to be aliased. Whatever we are reading or opening this file with the W mode, writing mode, we have to alias with the keyword as one object, as file. So we can refer further for some other process. Now ಮುಂದೆ ಈ ಫೈಲ್ನ ರೀಡ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟನ್ನು ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ರೀಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಫೈಲ್. ದಿಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಎಂಡ್ಸ್ ವಿತ್ ಅ colon. So here now we have to make sure that we are writing into the file. So let's give some instruction. If somebody is using this program, they should understand whenever we open the file or create the file by opening it, we have to enter something. For that we will say enter the text, and when do you want to stop? You can stop by type stop on a new line to finish. Okay, so what we are actually doing is here we are giving user to type some text into the file, but how the file should know that it is going reach the end word. So we are going to have a word like stop. Whenever user hit this case sensitive capital it all caps stop, it's going to finish the writing into the file and it gives the total result. So let's see how we can write into the file now. While true, that means till a condition is satisfied, we are going to have this loop is running line, and here we'll say input of. To the prompt we are not going to pass anything, we are just going to have the simple running program. And if line, whenever line, that is input given by the line is nothing but the input given by the user, whenever the line is equal to stop, this is a comparison. If this is the case, then we have to break it. Break means we are coming out of the loop. So this is the line. If there is no stop, then just write that content into the file dot, we have the file object here, same file object is being taken here, file dot write function is there, write of what do you want to write, whatever the user has given through input, that is stored in line. We will take that line here and we will append with the /n, such that whenever a new line comes, that will come in the next line. Okay, this is about writing the file. Now next one is we have to find the count, that is number of character, number of words, number of lines in this particular text file. So we will write another function that is to count or to compute. So let's write the same name, compute file stats. And what is the file? We have the same file. Let's make use of that. We have to open. We are going to use the with clause, with open. File name you have to mention. See, already we have a file. We are not going to create it. We are going to read it. And this time I am using single quotes to use this read mode actually. To make sure, you can also use the double quote instead of single quote. Here we have to create an alias object, the same as earlier one, as file. Now we have to get the content. To get the content, we have different functions. Read lines. Okay, so we use read lines now. Whenever we use read lines, it will be giving the content in number of elements in a list. Okay, as a list of elements. So we have file as object. From the file, we will read it. So simply type read lines. Close. So we got the content now. We are having all the stuffs. The beauty of with clause is that we opened the file. We are not going to manually close the file. It will close automatically. Okay, that is the usage also. Now to get the number of lines, as I said earlier, it will give a list of lines. So if we get the number of lines means we just have to get the length function. That means we are using length function to find the size of the file. That is how many lines are there. Length is equal to number of lines is equal to length of content. So this is going to give the one functionality for us that is being asked. Next one is number of words. So see, each words whenever we type here, write a program to create, each words are separated by a space. So we are going to make use of it. Number of words is equal to, we use a list comprehension. Let's use a generator expression or generator comprehension. We use length of line dot split. Each line now split ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, and by default it will split by a space. Line dot split. Generator expression start with the bracket. For line in content, ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಲೈನು ಕಂಟೆಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಲೈನಿಗೆ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಆ ಲೈನ್ನ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಸ್ಪ್ಲಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದರ ಲೆಂತ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಇನ್ಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಜನರೇಟರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಸಮ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್. ಐ ಬಿಲೀವ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೋರ್ ಈಸಿಯರ್. So this will be the easiest code I believe that we can have for it. Similar logic we can use for all the characters. So similarly we can have num chars equal to sum of length of line 1, length of line for line in content. So next, print. Let's use f strings. Print number of lines, open flower bracket. ಯಾವ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಪೇಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುವ. ಕಾಪಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪೇಸ್ಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ದ ಫ್ಲವರ್ ಬ್ರಾಕೆಟ್, ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ದ ಡಬಲ್ ಕೋಟ್, ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ದ ಬ್ರಾಕೆಟ್. ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ಲಿ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ರೈಟ್ ಫಾರ್, ಎಂಟರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಪಿ ಯ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ ದ ಇಂಡೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಮ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಕೋರ್ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ರೀಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ print. Let's copy again, so we are not going to waste some time. Number of characters, it is stored here. Sometime when you manually type, you might not typing it properly. There can be spelling mistakes to your code. For example, we are not going to have number of cats, we'll have number cat, just cat, not the plural one. So this is, it doesn't exist in my code, right? So we are going to get error. Let's see after running what error we are going to get. So we are done with the function. Now we are going to write the driver code. That is if double underscore name double underscore is equal to double equals to. See very clearly here this condition. And open the quote, single or double quote, any quote is fine. Let's use single quote this time. Double underscore main double underscore, close the single quote and introduce a colon because it's an if condition. And once it is done, for space, here we have to give a file name. We don't have a file name, so let's give file name. File name, let's hardcode to some value always. Text file dot text. We don't ask users because the extension and all a big thing. Let's have like this, text file dot text, and we have a function to create the file. Create file. So it has an underscore. Create file of file name, and then directly below create compute file name. We have the same file we have to use, whatever the file we have created, we have to use the same thing. Okay, let's say we are supposed to get error because it has some mistakes. So one is it is never closed. So we have opened one bracket here, another bracket here, another bracket. 3 brackets are open, one bracket is closed. So 2 more brackets are open. We entered one bracket here, so we have to close one more. So 3 brackets. When you close, you will get a gray line. There are still errors. Let's save again. Okay, we have enter the text. Say hi. I'll enter then bye. Then I'll say I'm from Bengaluru. Okay. Then I'll write stop. So that's the end of thing. Yes, see, it says compute file name doesn't exist. So let's check the file. Okay, this is the function. So whenever we try to give something, it will give not defined. See, I have declared the function name like this, and while calling the function name, I'm giving this, which are different naming conventions. So we must make sure that whatever we are referring, it is there in the program. If it is not a string, strings which are inside the codes printed as it is, as is. Okay, let's run again. A simple output from next. Let's stop. Okay, there is an error. Object type generator doesn't have length. Let's see this, what is happening. Length of, we have to close this here. See, 1 2, this length we are getting for the, not for whole for loop, it is just for this line dot split. Let's close and let's check. So open 1 2 1 3 open, 1 closed, 1 closed, length is closed. Okay, this is what it is closed. Hi, bye. Next from Udupi. Stop. One more error, that is numchar. This is what we said. We have numchars in our program. Numchars is there, but we don't have numchar. Let's correct it. We'll run again. Run module. We will type here, put the cursor. Hi, bye. I'm from Mangalore. So the place has changed from place to place. Next, I'm giving stop. All the character this. So we got number of lines 3, number of words 5, and number of characters is 25. This is pretty much for this program.